All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, wherever you're joining us from this evening. It's so good to have you on the call. I can see a lot of persons. I can see Stella Marie Sokwemi, Gabriel Eka, Sobomabo Amakri, Feyi, Innocent, all of you for wherever you're joining us from this wonderful Sunday evening. I want to thank you for taking out this time to be with us today on our High Flyers webinar. Just a second. All right. All right. So like I was saying, it's a good one to have everyone present here today for our September edition of the High Flyers webinar. In case you're joining us for the first time and you're wondering what the High Flyers is all about, the High Flyers is a community of students from the ages of 16 and above. And right here, we help students to develop skills. We help them to develop confidence. We help them to develop a mindset to succeed, not just in school, but outside school. We help them to create, to chart a course for their career, and we help them give counseling, monitoring. We monitor them all through and ensure that they succeed. And as part of what we do here in the community, we have this monthly webinar, usually every fourth Sunday of the month, where we empower the students with the right skills. We look at different topics, career topic, academic topic, and today we are looking at a very, very powerful key to success. All right, as a student, you don't want to just walk through the classroom. You don't want to just read your book without having a proper grasp of what you're doing. That is why we are bringing the mastering the art of study skills, mastering the art of study skills. And I want to welcome every one of us for taking our time to be with us today. And special recognition to Dr. Alo on the call, the founder of Brains and Butter, and every other person present here today. Understand some parents are also on the call. Thank you for joining us. And I want to promise you that today we have a lot of things in store for you. So we have a girl speaker who I will be bringing up shortly. I'll just read her profile and bring her. She's someone you want to listen to. And thereafter, we'll head into the question and answer session. And after that, something special we want to share with you today. So I'd like you to fasten your seatbelts, stay put in the course of the teaching, in the course of the talk. If you have any question, if you have something you want to ask, please feel free to drop the question in the chat box, or you can also ask, because we can give you a time to maybe put up your hand or speak. All right. Good. All right, let me just do one last check. All right, I think we are all set. I'll just introduce our speaker for today so we don't waste any time. Let me see. Let me just show that my speaker is here. All right, my speaker is here. I saw her earlier. All right, so today we have someone very skilled, very experienced that will be doing justice to the topic we are looking at today. Her name is Precious Oma. Precious Oma is a creative force, part storyteller, part teacher, wholly devoted to shaping words that inspire. Spoken word artist, podcast, as a spoken word artist, podcaster, voiceover artist, and certified writer, she brings tenderness and depth into every space she enters. A graduate of the University of Jos, Oma carries a deep love for education. Whether in the classroom or behind a microphone, she teaches with conviction, creativity, and clarity, believing that every word spoken with care can spark transformation. Sure, we're going to be experiencing a lot of that tonight. She's the founder and host of the Rest podcast, a refreshing and thought-provoking platform that has generated over 50,000 plays on Spotify, reaching listeners in more than 20 countries worldwide. For Oma, the mission is clear: to counsel, comfort, and to create. Our words are crafted with intention, and our life works is dedicated to leaving lasting imprints of truth, hope, and possibility. And we are so honored to have this special person with us today to do justice to the topic that we have for us today. With a clap, with your emoji, with all the excitement you have in you. Ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome Precious Oma as she takes us into tonight's session. Precious, how are you?
I am fine. Thank you so much for that
Good to have you
wonderful
this evening.
introduction and that warm introduction.
Yes,
So good to be
it's
here.
so good to have you. All right, you have the stage.
Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. I am conscious of how much time I have and I want to make the best use of that. Thank you to everyone who showed up tonight and so let's get right into it. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's up there.
Sorry, give me a moment to fix that. Mm, okay, having a little problem navigating my screen today. This is not normally the case. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing and try sharing again. I wonder what the drag is about. So I'll do that again. Okay, so very quickly, I will be teaching you on mastering the art of study skills. And I titled this slide Unlocking Your Study Superpowers. This was a very intentional choice of words, and it is because I believe that everyone has what I would like to call their unique study superpower. There's something that works for you that may not work for everyone. And as we go on in today's session, you're going to see why it's important for you to not just know what study skills are, not just know study skills in your head, but to also know what works for you, to know how to apply yourself to it. And I'm going to expose you to varying skills. There are lots, but I put out a few here, very vital because of our time. So let's get right into it. So, what are study skills? Study skills are tools and techniques that make learning easier, faster, and more effective. They help you to organize information, they help you to remember better, they help to reduce stress, and they help you to succeed in your exams and beyond. So, these are what study skills are. They are tools and techniques that make your learning easier, faster, and more effective. And if you're a student who has plans for success, you know that these are very important elements of your learning experience. These are very important elements of your student life. So these are the common study challenges that students face in school. Procrastination, excess screen time. Now, I was going to use distraction here, but I thought to just nail it down to excess screen time rather. Disorganization, exam anxiety, wrong revision techniques. Procrastination. I don't think I have to give a definition for that. Constantly say, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll read tomorrow. I'll read when it's almost time. I used to be that kind of student in school. I remember there was a time that I had an exam slated for 8 a.m. And well, the backstory is that I had read a week before the exams had come because we had tests, so I had to literally read and all of that. But then I did something very risky. I said I was going to read in the night because that's when everybody reads around me. That's when my friends read. There's a name for it. I can't remember what it is anymore. There's a term, there was a slang for it, for reading through from the night to the TDB, yes, till daybreak. So you read till daybreak. Now, every single time that I tried to do that, it just never worked for me. Never. I'd go for TDB and then I'd be sleeping in, and every other person is reading. So I was like, no, I'm going to sleep in the afternoon, wake up in the morning. I'm going to wake up in the night. I'm going to read later. I was procrastinating. 10 p.m. when I said I was going to read. Can you guess when I woke up? I woke up 6:30 something a.m. And the moment I woke up, I was just scrambling to heat my water because where 40 minutes and I started to run to school. Now, the thing about waiting for deadlines before you do what you are supposed to do is you might be able to put out work, but it will not be your best work because you are doing it under pressure, right? So procrastination is a common study challenge. We always overestimate what we can do under a short period of time. Then there's excess screen time. There's disorganization, exam anxiety, wrong revision techniques. So in the next slide, I'm just going to show you how to tackle that because it's not enough to identify a problem. Naming a problem is an important part of solving just about anything, not just academically, like literally everything that has to do with life. Naming the problem is very important. But many times people stop at naming the problem, they don't go ahead to offer practical solutions. So to beat procrastination, you can try the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique. And if you've never heard of this, I'm going to be telling you what it means. But before I continue, I just want to be sure that everyone is hearing me. Can everyone
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So this technique was invented by a man named Francisco, and
Okay.
like a tomato. So in a form of time management that makes you break your work into little chunks of a part of time. So let's say it's typically 25 minutes. So you say, okay, instead of saying I'm going to read later, I'll read for 25 minutes now. I'll take a 5 minutes break, then I'll come back to do 25 minutes. I'll take a 5 minutes break, come back. So by the time you're done with that, you may have read for like 2 hours or read for 1 hour, whatever your reading goal is, breaking it into smaller chunks like this. The practical solution to help you beat procrastination. So instead of waiting till later and then trying to jumble all the work at the same time, that chunk of work, you can break it down using this technique. And I believe that every high flyer on this call is smart enough to know to go and research more on this technique and on the history surrounding it so that you know how best to make use of it. To manage screen time, set a no phone study zone. if you want to be extreme, you can say around the time I'm reading, 10, when I want to study, let me say 10 a.m. to 10. Popular saying that goes out of sight is out of mind. So if you can discipline yourself to set a no phone study zone, you find out that you will be ahead of so many people, ahead of your peers, and you'd literally be a student that stands out. Because guess what? Almost everybody is falling for the same thing. Almost everybody is also not managing their screen time. Almost everybody is also just doom scrolling and just going, just swipe, swipe, swipe on TikTok. So if you discipline yourself to do this differently, you find out that you stand out pretty effortlessly because you're doing something that others are not doing and your results will be different. So stay organized.
Okay.
You can use Notion. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think your network was dragging a bit,
Okay, so what last did you hear me say?
but it's fine.
All right, I can continue.
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you so much for being. I'm actually such a paper and pen person. As long as I can put it down on paper, it's going to work. To beat anxiety, pray, prepare, and breathe. A lot of times, why there is anxiety around examinations and study is because you don't feel prepared enough. And there's something I used to tell some of my friends at school. I don't think you would ever feel completely prepared enough many times, right? But as long as you've done the most important bit of study, pray, prepare, and breathe. Do not do not be anxious. Do not be anxious. Anxiety is never a battle strategy for anything. To revise accurately, try varying methods and stick to what works for you. We'll draw now. So these are core study skills. These are skills to incorporate into your study routine, your study techniques. Time management, we've already spoken about this. You cannot effectively study well as a student if you do not know how to manage your time. Yeah, everyone has 24 hours in a day, but the difference between what I do in my 24 hours and what you do with your 24 hours determines the kind of people that we become. There are no super people. There are no people who are just made like that. No, you have to learn. You have to learn how to manage your time, how to make the best use of your time. The next thing is note taking. While you're studying, it's usually very helpful to take notes, to write down important things, to write down questions, to write down things you want to go and research. As students in school, while my lecturers um, gave us lectures, while they taught us, I would normally, if they say something that I find interesting or find striking, I would normally put a search icon and then just do a doodle on my notes. When I go home, I will definitely go back to research on that. And every time I see it, I remember, oh, if I haven't researched, I will go back to research on it. So note taking definitely also helps you to keep your attention on what you're studying. If you're taking notes, you find that you're listening better, you're actively listening even, right? The next is active recall and spaced repetition. Read, don't wait till exams to read your notes. Read them as often as you can. And I have found that the most important things in our lives, many times, the most important times are not sometimes discipline is boring, but you have to do that hard work. You have to do that air quote, dirty work if you're going to fun for yourself, apps and all of that, you have to come to terms with the fact that boredom is not your enemy. It's there's something I want to talk about, but I don't want to run ahead of myself. So while we go on spaced repetition, for active recall, you're doing things like reading. You know how you my absolute fave. Here you use acronyms, rhymes, on AMS. Sounds SMANT, and now it's SMANT. And so when I'm in the examination hall, I have to remember S is for self-care, M is for mnemonics, A is for active recall, T is for time management. So when you study using acronyms, using rhymes, using phrases, you can make this into a phrase. It makes it easy for you to actively recall what you're reading. And then there is self-care. This is so important. When I was writing my final year exams as an undergraduate student, I used to really undermine the importance of self-care until a very dear mentor asked us on a call when he was speaking to us. I hope you guys are on exams. You're doing literally the opposite. You're not sleeping enough, you're not eating enough, you're just this would help your whole system to come together to make sure you are getting the best out of every effort you're putting in studying. Okay, I think I can see some chat.
Yeah, I think we're having some issues with your network. It's been dragging.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's been dragging a lot.
Oh my God.
I don't know if going off camera would help it run smooth.
Okay. All right. Maybe let me just try that. I really apologize.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. Let's just fix this network issue. Let's fix it fast.
I would only hope that it's
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, this is better.
Okay. So we're done with this. Let's just run. So here are some fun and practical tips as you study. You can use color coding and sticky notes. Something else I find that really works is to teach someone what you just learned. This works almost like magic. The moment you're able to the moment you're able to reproduce what you just consumed, it sticks. It just sticks. So find someone to teach what you just learned. It also helps you to ascertain the level of understanding that you have attained. And this is why group reading works for some people, right? You find that your ability to quiz each other, ask questions, to say, okay, this is what I just learned about history, and then you say everything that you just learned. Most times you would remember it when the way you are telling it to someone else when you're trying to write an exam or whatever it is you're studying for, right? Reward yourself after finishing small tasks. Remember, we're trying to make something that is not the most fun experience really fun. So rewarding yourself after finishing small tasks can be so helpful. Even though quite honestly it doesn't work for me. I remember someone I saw it somewhere online. After reading 5 pages, I'm going to eat one bar of chocolate. When I tried that, mhm, I ate all the chocolate before before getting to the end. I was just like, I mean, it's my money. I got my chocolate myself. I will eat this chocolate, and nobody can do anything to me. So I found that that didn't work for me, right? So you can use Quizlet or flashcards. Quizlet is an app. You can check it out. You can use it for whatever subject it is that you're studying for, and it will help to make it pretty interesting for you. You can study with soft music. If music works for you, this is also a very practical tip. And this bonus tip is a bonus tip indeed, because it feels like it feels like something very personal for me, because I was having a problem studying a course one time, and I prayed about it, and after praying about it, I just got a leading in my heart that I should record my notes. I recorded my notes for that semester. And I'm going to school. I'm not with my notes, but I'm with my earphones. And my classmates are wondering, oh, you finished reading at home now. You're just coming here to deceive us. I'm like, I'm reading my own notes too. And it was so helpful to hear my notes said back to me by myself. So if you don't like the sound of your own voice, you can help make someone record it for you, right? So this is also a bonus practical tip. So something I want you to remember is that everyone learns differently, and this is the thing I've been trying to emphasize. Some remember best by seeing. They're called visual learners. Some people have to see it to remember it. Others have to hear it to remember it. That's auditory learners. The example I just gave you, I'm an auditory learner. I'm like full blown auditory learner. If I hear it, I will most likely not forget it. And then others learn by doing. So they have to be doing something to remember. I know someone like that. So if he's trying to read his course material and he's trying to cover it, he's just going to be moving around or engaging us, because the more he engages us while he reads, he says when he's in the examination hall, he remembers those things he was doing, and then he remembers what he was reading. I'm like, that's a little weird, but okay, that works, that works, that works. So some learn by doing. They're called kinesthetic learners, and some are a mix of all three. I personally believe that everybody has a mix of all the three. You just have one more than the other or two more than the other. And the key is to discover your style and to not copy someone else. So if you're going to study smarter, if you're going to get the results for the efforts that you're putting into reading, you have to do that hard work of discovering your style. TDBs did not work for me. Reading at night when everyone was reading, but it was the trending thing. It was the thing that serious students did. My video is not on. If it was on, you would have seen me do my air quotes, right? It was the thing that everyone who was considered smart was doing. They were breaking their backs doing TDB, but that didn't work for me. I was more of a morning and an afternoon reader than I was in a night reader. And if I did not discover what worked for me, I would have struggled through school. I would have struggled through school. I would have struggled through reading. Right. So you have to find what works for you and do not copy someone else. So this are the 3 hours of revision. After this, we have two more slides and we're done. So these are the 3 hours of revision. When you're trying to revise your notes, when you're trying to remember the things that you have been taught, you review, you recall, and you reflect. Review. Read your notes daily in short bursts. This is usually helpful. I have mentioned this earlier. Please do not let your work pile up. It's like shooting yourself in the leg at the end of the day. So read your notes daily as much as you can. You can make it weekly. Do not procrastinate it. Then quiz yourself without looking. Recall, what did I just read? Right? What did I just read? Ask yourself questions. This is reflecting now. Do I understand this well enough to explain it? And if you do, try explaining it to someone. So review, recall, reflect. The 3 hours of revision: review, recall, reflect. And this will help you to study better, study smarter, and to achieve your studying goals as you go. So I've shared quite a number of things with you today, and I hope you'll be able to put them into practice. I made sure to break them down to be as simple as quite honestly, I thought this was going to be a video. I thought the, everyone's video camera was going to be turned on. So I was really hoping I was going to get your biggest takeaway, but I think that's still possible because I want to see if you've been able to get anything out of today's class. So we have come to the end of this class, and thank you so much for giving me your ears and your time.
Wow, beautiful presentation there, Ms. Precious. Please let's put our hands together for our speaker. Let's give her all our applause, our reaction. Yes, it would have been good for you to just leave that slide up because we would like to really get the feedback from uh, our participant tonight. Yes, it's time to share your feedback. It's time to ask your questions. If you have any question, you can type in the chat box. You can put up your hand, and we'll just call you to take your question. Let me see. Okay, Dr. Alo, and okay, Dr. Alo, please.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Precious, for that. That was really amazing. There was a
Thank you.
time, there was a time that when your network was tripping, and there was something really juicy you were saying at the time. Sorry about that, about discipline. So I just wanted you to please talk to us about the importance of being disciplined as part of studying, because that I think those were the moments when your network was going on and off.
All right. Thank you very much, Mom. So, if I remember correctly, the thing I was saying about discipline when it comes to studying is is the fact that you have to come to terms with the reality that it's not always going to be enjoyable. Yeah, I'm just here in my house battling. There's literally a scripture coming to my mind as I speak right now. No discipline in the moment is usually enjoyable. So when you're putting in the work, when you're breaking your back, when you're sticking to your routines, when you're saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I will do it because I told myself I was going to do it. It's so important because if you have that sense of self integrity, you find that you believe in yourself more if you than when you're making promises and breaking promises, and when you're saying, oh, I'm going to read today, and then you don't read. Why? Because I mean, you have that free will, you're just doing whatever it is that you want. But discipline is a very important guardrail. It's very important as you study. It's very important even in life. So I was trying to make the point that I know that as young people, we don't like to participate in things that are not fun, or we're always trying to make things fun. But even as you do that, you have to agree that boredom is not your enemy. It is not. Routines are not your enemy. In fact, they're the things that make or break your life. So you have to get disciplined. If not, you can't freelance your way through life every time. There are many things you miss out on if you're not disciplined. So that's the emphasis. That's the emphasis I was trying to make with discipline. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alu, for drawing our attention to that, and Precious for explaining that so clearly. We have Jonathan Tekena hands up. Jonathan, you want to ask a question? You can unmute your mic and speak. Okay, someone is asking, what year did you conclude your education? Okay,
sir.
Jonathan, please.
So how do you know whether morning, afternoon, or night works for you? Because me, I read whether in the morning, afternoon, night. I really don't have any particular time that works for me. So how do you know which particular time works for you as a person?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Now, the goal of finding out what works for you as touching time is not so that you will box yourself and say, oh, ninth works for me, and you never reach any other time. That is not the goal of finding out the time that works for you. The goal is actually to find out at what time you can the time okay, let me rephrase this. The reason why it is important to know the time that works for you is so that you know how to maximize it best. So if you say that morning or afternoon or night works for you, that's perfectly fine as long as you're getting the results that you want to, right? So if all of them works for you, I think that's such a beautiful miracle that you have right there. So if all the times work for you, that's fine. You don't have to box yourself in like in a particular time or something. But but mm, should I? I'm trying to find out if what I want to say to you now is actually necessary to the question you just asked. Okay, I think I'll just hold. So yes, it's not something to it's not so that you can box yourself or niche down niche down your study time or something. It's it's just that you know what works for you best. So if all of them work for you, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, thank you so much, Precious, for that. I think for me, back then in school, some people would go to, there's what they call night class. Once it's 10 p.m., 8 p.m., you see everyone taking their bag, they will go and sleep till morning. Some persons will sleep, some persons will actually read all through the night. But for me, I prefer to go to the library from morning. I can read from morning till, let's say, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I can be there. But once it's 8 p.m., I need to go and sleep because my sleep is very important. So I like to read all through the day and then I take a rest, at night. Jonathan, you want to ask another question? All right. So please
Just
keep
to
your
quickly, just to quickly add to that, I think it's also about discovering when your attention is at its highest level. So it's fantastic when you can do morning, afternoon, and evening, and even within those periods of the day, if you can find when your attention is at its best, is at its peak. If your attention is at its peak during those three periods, then that is amazing. But I'm almost led to think that there would be one of those periods that you're really, you know,
Exactly.
your attention is at its best level. So if you now discover which one of those periods gives you the best attention, then you can perhaps manage your study time and break maybe the harder materials to study or the longer text you have to study, put them at those times when your attention is at its best. So, for example, I like my quiet time in the morning. Like, I want to create in the morning. I don't want to have meetings with anybody because talking tires me out, it drains me. So I put my talk time in the afternoon. I know sometimes when you've eaten, your brain is also trying to digest lunch. There's all sorts of people around and all sorts of things happening. So I'm like, okay, I can be chit chatting in the afternoon. And then in the evening, once I've sort of had some time to unwind, I can do some softer things then. So I rather do my best work in the morning because I've just woken up, I've had a really good night's sleep because I can work during all three periods, but there are certain times that for people you have your highest attention and that you can put your best work in that time.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that addition.
Thank you so much, Ma. I think we have a question here in the chat box. Says, do study timetables really work, or should you just study as you need it?
All right. Study timetable really work. And you can study as you need if you already are disciplined and if you do not see the need for structure. But the reason why timetables are important is because they help you stay organized and they help you to not leave subjects out. And I understand that some people, they work better by studying when they feel the need to. So the balance to that will be to know that a timetable is not a prison. It's a guide, right? It's not a prison, it's a guide. So it helps you to stay consistent yet flexible if you realize that it is not a prison. It's just a guide. So it's necessary for consistency, but it's not a prison. So that would be my answer to that.
Thank you. I like the way you put it. It's not a prison, it's a guide. Misha, I'm sure you got that. Timetable is not a prison, it's a guide. Guide you and to keep you in check, just to ensure that you are on the right track. Right? We have another question here. What would you say was the most difficult part of your concluding years?
Okay. The question is not specific enough.
Yes,
The
concluding
most
years.
difficult.
Is it in school? Is it like in our
Yeah.
final year? Yeah, maybe in your final years. Final
And the
years.
most difficult part of words, because I mean, there are many
Yes.
facets of that.
What would you say was the most difficult part of uh your last year in school? I'm sure your final year in the university.
Okay. So I'll say that the most difficult part of my final year in school would be, well, it was project writing. It was project writing. It was a lot because of how the school system can be, where I studied. It was quite a lot for me to navigate, but I was able to push through that. And then there was also the questions, the fears. What am I going to do after this? I know that that's really the most prominent question with final year students. Where am I going to go next, and all of that. So academic wise, for me, it was this, because before final year, by 300 level, I had found a working reading for my academics, so it was not so hard for me to. In fact, my final year academically was actually my easiest. It was actually my easiest. I wrote my most enjoyable exams, and my grades are just beautiful in my final year, quite honestly. So that's how it was for me. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But I am just looking at, okay, Dr. Alo.
Yeah, okay. So yes, I wanted to speak to the issue about timetables. Do you know that your brain actually likes a routine? Your brain, as in its optimal functioning state, likes a structure, likes a plan. The brain actually goes into a frenzy when things are chaotic, and it doesn't actually deliver its best results for you. So having a timetable is apologies. um when you have a timetable, it's like cool aid to your brain. Your brain is so happy, like it knows, okay, I'm planning to do this. Then again, like Miss Precious said, it's not a prison, it's a guide. And in addition to it being a guide, it's such great comfort to your brain that you know, okay, I've already sort of put this plan in place, and it drops your anxiety levels tremendously because you know you've already scheduled something in. So that's what I wanted to say about timetables, that it actually really does help the brain to have a plan of some sort. Then, in terms of difficult parts in academics, something I've seen happen to a student before, it was actually distractions from friends, major friendship issues that happened that literally nearly derailed her, if not for the help of some people around that just knew, okay, this was becoming an issue. So if you're having distractions from friends who maybe are just going in a different direction, or some drama that is unnecessary, you really want to speak to a trusted adult or someone that you can confide in. I would advise not your peer. Actually, you're all navigating teenagehood together. I would advise that you speak to a trusted adult, someone that you can confide in and that you know you can trust to keep your secret safe. But don't go through that emotional headache alone, because some of these emotional issues, friendship issues, relationship drama, sometimes they can get in the way. So But speaking to someone can go a long way in just dealing with that distraction and removing that clog in the system so that you can focus. Because sometimes the part of your brain that you need to give to do your best work with is also the part of your brain that can get consumed with all these emotional issues. So it's really important that you give any mental situation the attention it needs by speaking to a trusted adult. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that contribution, for bringing clarity to that area. One last question I would like to ask before we head into our next session, but it's about parents, the place, the role of parents in helping students to have develop, a good or solid study habits without appearing to pressure them. How can parents navigate through that? Encouraging your child to have a good study habit. You see a number of parents, especially back here in Africa, there's a way they force you to read. There's a way they force you to study. But how can we create a balance such that the child don't feel overwhelmed? Precious.
All right. So I'd say communication, communication, communication. Depending on the kind of relationship that the parents already have with the child, it would determine the kind of environment that they provide for the child, right? So if if a child if a child's relationship with the parents is really tense and the home, the environment, the family is really tense, that child's study life is definitely going to be affected. So most of the roles that the parents play when it comes to studying would be, apart from modeling it, it would be supporting, not pressure, definitely support, giving them a good study environment, like less noise and distractions. For instance, when my parents know I'm trying to prepare for something, you have less work that day, or they just say, "Don't worry about this, don't do this time around, just go to your room and read." As a child, till I went to the university, my parents would, after we read our books for exam, we come one by one. We would stand in front of them, they would ask us questions, looking at the books. So it was so supportive to do that back and forth with them, the question and answers, and they making sure we were going over our notes very diligently. So I would say communication, I would say support. They have to make room for their children to read and to study, and yeah, encouragement basically, and providing the right environment for them to study.
Thank you so
So
much,
that's what I'd
Precious.
like to say to that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, providing the right environment for them to study. And I like to end it on that note. And uh, that is what we do at iFlyers. We provide you with the right environment. Some of us are new, and you might just be wondering, what is this community all about? What is this platform all about? What do they really do here? I'm sure you've enjoyed tonight's session. This is just part of what we do here at the High Flyers community. We help students, we support students through counseling, mentoring. You heard Dr. Ali said, if you're having any issues, you're having any challenge, you're looking for someone to talk to, High Flyers is a good platform where you can be a part of, and you have a lot of mentors, counselors that you can share your problem with, you can share your challenges with, they can encourage you, they can be of great help to you. So this is why it's a support community for you. It's a place you can run to. You can reach us anytime. Of course, when you're part of our community, sure, any moment from now, we'll send the link. We'll actually drop the link just about now. The link to our WhatsApp community. You can click on that link and join our community and ask your questions there. Anytime you feel like you need someone to talk to, you feel like you're overwhelmed with your study, or you just need some form of clarity, please don't hesitate to chat us up on the group, and we will be on hand to assist you. So please, the link, yes, that's the link to our WhatsApp community. You want to click on that link and you will find yourself right there in the community. Thank you again, Ms. Precious, for a beautiful presentation tonight. And today is such a special evening because we have something special to share with you. All right. So if you give me a minute, I'm just going to share my screen and walk you through what we have for you tonight, courtesy of the High Flyers. All right. So just stay put as I walk you through it. All right. This is the High Flyers. And yeah, we do what? We chart the course for success. Like I said, we'll help you, we stand with you every step of the way till you arrive at that dreamed destination. All right. So you might be wondering, so what is this group all about? This is our core comprehensive impact, what we do here in this community. So we have career counseling. Like I said, we have expert guidance to help students like you discover their passion and chart their educational and professional path. You're in school, you don't know what to do, you don't know what course to study, you want to be a medical doctor, you want to be an engineer. The High Flyers is a good place for you to nurse all of those ambitions, and then we'll be able to guide you. We have experts that have already pass through the same road you're calling out. They will just guide you appropriately. We have the Osbridge mentoring, specialized support for students aiming for top tier university. Maybe you want to go to Harvard, you're looking at Cambridge, you're looking at Oxford. We have a particular program for you. Okay, I will be speaking about it later on, but we have a customized plan for everyone depending on what you want, and we'll just guide you through and ensure that that which you are looking for, that which you are planning towards, will help you achieve your goals. And also we have subject specific tutors. That is, you're in need of a particular, you're struggling with a particular subject area and you're looking for help, you're not sure who to run to, please run to the High Flyers and we'll help you get a tutor, an experienced tutor that will help make your study a lot easier. Of course, admissions, university admissions, comprehensive support through and the entire university application process will help you do a lot more. I'll be speaking about that later in the next slide. And of course, academic guardianship, ongoing mentorship to ensure that you succeed, and of course, your well-being is our priority. Okay, and then you're wondering, so what do I do from here? What do I do from here? What you need to do is to sign up to the High Flyers membership package. We have 3 membership packages. We have the basic package, we have the classic and the premium. And look at this. For the basic, earlier I said you can click on the WhatsApp, the link that was shared in the chat box, click on that link and you will find yourself in our community. That's the basic package. Once you're in a WhatsApp community where we share regular, valuable insights, resources, and opportunities that will help you thrive in your studies. You get all of that there. And of course, we have Temly High Flyers Digest, the newsletters with highlights of our events. That's for the free package. All right. So you can see that in the free package, we don't really have a lot there. It's just our community. But if you want to enjoy what we just experienced now, you want to be a part of our monthly webinars where we bring our speakers and also have access to other benefits within the High Flyers community, I'd like to encourage you to pick a package today so that you can be a part of it. All right, I'll talk about that later. So we have the classic package. We have the classic package, and with the classic package, it has everything that we have in the basic. That is, you will be a part of our community. You will get the Temly High Flyers report, and in addition, you will have access to our webinars. All right. So today we made it open so as to encourage everyone and just let you know this is what the High Flyers community is all about, and encourage you to be a part of it. Also encouraging you or allowing you have access to what we enjoy, what we benefit here in this community. So from next month, usually we have our webinars 4th Sundays of every month, 4th Sundays of every month. So next month, it will be on the 26th of October. So for you to be a part of this event, for our next month event, you need to sign up for a package, either the classic or the premium package. So also part of the classic package is digital resources by way of guidelines, by way of templates, by way of brochure, things that will guide you and help you align, in your studies. And then we have career pathway support and mentorship. I already mentioned that earlier. So we'll have a dedicated mentor assigned to you who will always be available to guide you, to listen to you under our classic package. And the classic package goes for 30,000 per month. 30,000, sorry, 30 pounds per month, don't mind me, 30 pounds per month. But if you're paying a lump sum, we have the bundle price, which instead of 220 for 9 months, you can have it at 250 pounds. Wow. For just 250 pounds, you are up for our classic package and you have access to all of these resources, all of these benefits. I'm sure you want to listen to what we have under the premium. So for premium, we have everything in the basic, everything in the classic, and also we have one-to-one mentorship. One-to-one mentorship. All right. We have all the time for you. We have all the time for you. Whether you're going through a difficult time, whether you need someone urgent to talk to, whether you just need someone to speak to, someone that will mentor you. All right. We have experienced professionals. We have a doctor, you have engineers. You want to become a medical doctor, we can attach you to a medical doctor who will mentor you because he has already walked through that road. He can hold you by the hand and say, you know what, come with me. I will ensure that you get to your destination. So that is what part of what the premium package offers. We have 1 hour one-to-one academic performance clinic where we sit with you per term and look at how you're doing in school. We review all your subjects, we review all your courses, and we know the areas you are having challenges, difficulty. We counsel you, walk you through, and of course, the counselors and our mentors are there to also help you. So this is a support community for students and also for our parents. Our parents on the call, you are not left out. We have created a platform where your children are not just part of the High Flyers community and you're wondering what are they really doing there. We want to carry our parents along too by having this timely individual reports to parents, right? To parents where we have a 30-minute session where we discuss, you can discuss with a consultant. Remember, this is strictly for the premium package, all right? So if you're in the premium package, the mom, your dad will have access to a consultant to review your performance that particular term, review your performance in terms of participation in the High Flyers community and how you have improved over time. So all of that is part of what you get to benefit from if you sign up under our premium package. Remember, the premium covers both the free, everything under the free package, everything under the basic package, and of course, all that I have just listed under the premium package. And it goes for just 50 pounds a month. But if you want to pay for 9 months, instead of 450 pounds, you get to pay just 400 pounds for 9 months. 9 months. Come on, let me see your reaction. Let me see some love. This is too good. This is just too good to be true. But yes, it is true. This is what the Outlier offering you. So don't leave this call today without picking a package so that you can be a part of the High Flyers family. You can be a part of our October webinar. And of course, this is what you can do. You have the barcode. You can scan this barcode and you're right there to pick a membership package. So scan the barcode. I will allow this to stay for a while in case you're trying to scan. You can scan the barcode, or you can quickly also type the link of the link there, the bit.ly/HF membership. Bit.ly, that is bit.ly/HF membership. So right there, you can pick a membership package and sign up for to the High Flyers community so that you can have access to all of these I just mentioned. All right, so I'll leave this off, but I'll also come back to it later on. And this is what is coming up. Guess what? Guess what? If you've enjoyed today's session, I'm sure you don't want to miss what is coming next month. Everyone on this call, I'll encourage you to mark your calendar to quickly scan this barcode, rush to the link, sign up, because our next edition of the High Flyers webinar, you don't want to miss it. Guess what? Next month, we're looking at using AI to supercharge your learning. Using AI to supercharge your learning. If you're wondering what this is all about, AI is revolutionizing the world. It's taking over the space, different spaces in the world, the educational space, the professional space, everywhere you find AI. You go to the hospital, you go to schools, you even at home, AI is everywhere. Now, how do we deploy this tool? How do we work with this tool in such a way that it complements our studies? We just learned about the mastering the art of study skills. Now we're bringing you how you can, after mastering the study skills, how now you can take your studies to a whole new level, supercharging your learning using AI. And you don't want to miss this event. Hold on the 26th of October, same time, 8 p.m. But this time around, you need to subscribe to the package in order to have access to this webinar, this particular webinar. So it's either you're picking the classic membership or the premium membership. Also, the premium and the classic gives you access. Remember, I said for the basic gives you access to just our community and highlights, monthly highlights. Okay. So for you to be a part of this event coming up on the 26th of October, please click on the link I just shared, scan the barcode, click on this link and sign up to either the classic or the premium package. And we'll be right here waiting to receive you into the High Flyers family. All right. So that's the good news I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed our webinar. I'll leave this up in case you're trying to scan the barcode, in case you're trying to type the link. The link is also in the chat. Please do well to check it. All right, just checking if I have any question. All right, I think that will be all from my end. Do I have any question? Do I have any remark from anyone just before we close? All right, if you want to ask a question about the High Flyers community, if you need clarity with regards to what I just said, please feel free to ask a question. Okay. All right. Okay, in the absence of any question, I'd like to take this time again to appreciate every one of us for joining us this night. Thank you, Precious Oma, for a beautiful presentation. Of course, thank you, Dr. Alo, for putting this together, for creating this platform where students can be equipped, where students can be, mentored, students can be, guided in the right direction in all they do. Thank you so much again. And for the rest of us, remember on Sunday, the 29th or 26th of October is our next event. And please do well to scan the barcode, register, pick a package, and join us, join the Ice Flyers family. All right. So I'd like to say goodbyes. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye, everyone.
Falling. Yeah,